What's up, pimps and hoes? And speaking of hoes, remember this year that all these Celtics fans were bashing Jason Tatum for his so-called Kobe mentality and for taking too many mid-range jump shots. Well, what about Kyrie Irving? Kyrie Irving is the guy with the biggest Kobe mentality, delusional Kobe mentality with the most mid-range jump shots. Very strange, isn't it? And as we saw from Jason Tatum, as soon as Kyrie got out of the way last year, Jason Tatum was a mid-range master. He's been a mid-range master since like the 8th grade, guys. And what are we going to see next year? We're going to see Jason Tatum be a mid-range master with no Kyrie Irving staring daggers at him every time he shoots. Imagine being Jason Tatum, and every time you shoot, you're knowing that if you miss, Kyrie's going to be giving you passive-aggressive looks, and he's not going to pass you the ball again for 10 times. And if you do make it, it's all the more reason for Kyrie to never pass you the ball, because you just made Kyrie look bad. And you reminded him, you gave him flashbacks to Vietnam. I mean, Eastern Conference Finals playoff run last year, the saddest time in Kyrie Irving's life. So what we're going to have next year is we're going to have a mid-range master in Jason Tatum, who's going to be able to shoot in rhythm in a supportive environment where he's encouraged and empowered and enabled. And we saw it a million times where Jason Tatum would score 7 points in the first 2 minutes of a game, and then he never sees the ball again because Kyrie keeps it away from him. Next year is going to be different. Terry Rozier much more willing to feed the hot hand, okay? And we also have Jaylen Brown, who's going to be even better this year at the pull-up jump shot, step-back jump shot, just catch and shoot over guys from mid-range and three-point land. These guys are two guaranteed future all-stars as soon as next year, perhaps. Then we have Gordon Hayward, who can also create his own jump shot pretty much at will and off the dribble, attacking the rim, floaters, all of it, ambidextrous. So when we talk about TACKO Fall, a lot of people talk about his offensive shortcomings. And the thing is, even last year, Celtics season would have been an amazing success with a lot of isolation plays. Marcus Morris is another guy. He's a great isolation scorer. And it just didn't work because Kyrie had the ball in his hands. And when your point guard, if we had just had a point guard who was not a ISO heavy scorer, it would have made a lot more sense with everybody else being ISO scorers. And there would have been more rhythm and more trust and, guys feed the hot hand and that kind of deal. Like a lot of NBA teams do, like with Kevin Durant. When he gets hot, he gets the ball and everyone else just stands back and he goes to work. We have a lot of guys like that. We're very, very blessed. And so when it comes to a center, whether it's Aaron Baines or whether it's TACKO Fall, we don't need Brook Lopez out there shooting threes. And with a guy like TACKO Ball, who has the ability to be the defender that Rudy Gobert is, or even better, so good that you design defensive schemes entirely around him, limiting second chance baskets for the other team, limiting putback tip-ins, offensive rebounds, because of his defensive presence. He's such a good defender that it's almost worth just sticking him with 1 foot in the lane and 1 foot outside the lane on the defensive end of the court and just leaving him there. He's literally almost that good. And in fact, if and when we do draft him, which we probably won't, I would allow him to stay on the defensive side of the court once every 4 trips to maximize his minutes out there. Everyone says, oh, there was no 3-second rule last year in college. Well, all he needs to do is keep 1 foot outside the lane. He would have done that in college anyway and been just as effective. He's agile, guys. He's agile. He's quick for his size. You want to compare the 7'7" guy's agility to the 6'8" power forward's agility? And so people need to see it to believe it, but they think that when they see him against these college players that, oh, the guys in the NBA are so much bigger. Not really. He made Zion Williamson look like a little bitch. He's going to make all these guys look like little bitches, guys. He's going to make LeBron James look like, what are you doing out here, old man? What are you doing out here? Especially since you look like you're 5'6", standing next to TACKO Ball. TACKO Fall, not Bull. So he's going to be a game changer, and whoever gives him a chance is going to be seen as a genius, and everyone else is going to be looking like idiots. And they're going to hate it. They're going to hate TACKO Ball's success, in my opinion, because they're going to say, why didn't I see that coming? Why did I think that 7'7" with a 8-foot wingspan and a 10'2" standing reach and solid athleticism and agility and 300 pounds, not a string bean? Why did I not think that would translate? Why did I think that there was going to be a bunch of 7'5" guys out there in the NBA? So a big part of it comes down to fit with TACKO Fall. On an ISO heavy team that doesn't need a skilled floor spacer or post-up master from their center position, shit. Celtics can win a championship this way, guys. And if he does get hurt, well, every player gets hurt. Kyrie Irving freaking is hurt all the time, and people want to pay him $40 million a year for 5 years to watch him choke in the playoffs because he doesn't have LeBron playing point guard for him. They want to watch him run out of gas at halftime. So all his shots in the second half are short and his defense is non-existent. Then you want to talk about TACKO Fall being a one-way player? Shit. So anyway, guys, that's why TACKO Fall is worth even the number 22 or number 20 pick for Celtics. Another thing about him is if Al Horford is given signs that he's not coming back, because some other team will probably easily offer him $25 or $30 million for the next 3 years, and they won't even make him play center all the time. That's a huge loss for the Celtics. And if you do want to play Gordon Hayward at power forward next to Tatum and Brown, what better center in the entire world than TACKO Fall to play next to Gordon Hayward, because Gordon Hayward cannot play like a legit power forward. His standing reach is about the same as 8'7", 7'7", whatever. His standing reach is the same as Nickeil Alexander-Walker, guys. And you want to play that guy at power forward? If so, you can do it. You can put Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Gordon Hayward out there from 2 to 4, but you need a mass monster like this guy. And a lot of the reason that a lot of these taller, somewhat uncoordinated, goofy guys don't make it is they're either 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 pounds lighter than TACKO Fall is. You know, like when TACKO Fall was a teenager, part of why people wrote him off is he was so skinny and he wasn't coordinated, but he did the work. He gained the weight. He's 300 pounds now. He's as heavy as anybody. He's as strong as anybody in the NBA. He's taller than anybody, and he has just about as good agility as a lot of other guys who are 7 inches shorter. And it's just hard to picture, but once you see it on the court, and right now everybody's looking for the next PASCAL SIAKAM, this is a problem. When people want to find the next version of a player and they're looking for something that's exactly like that guy, that's where you screw up. Remember, everyone was looking for the next Michael Jordan in the 90s, and they would just draft guys like J.R. Rider or Harold Miner and just pretend and declare that they're the next Jordan because they were so desperate for the next Jordan. Everyone wanted the next John Wall, so they draft Emmanuel Mudiay and just pretend that he's John Wall. Nobody was looking for a Giannis type, so he falls to what, 15 or 16 in the draft, right? Because no one was looking for that. No one was looking for the next Rudy Gobert, so he falls to the 20s because nobody's looking for Rudy Gobert. Nobody was looking for the next DeAndre Jordan, so Jordan falls to the 2nd round. Nobody's looking for the next TACKO Fall, so maybe he even falls to the 2nd round, but it's just such a travesty. People are going to say, oh shit, he doesn't move like Boban. Oh shit, he really doesn't have to stand in the middle of the lane to dominate the paint because he can just put one pinky toe outside the paint and he's making the same impact. He's a total game changer. Changes the way the entire other team has to operate and think, and that all they're going to do is play distracted. We saw it against Duke. Those guys, he was in their heads, guys. He was in their heads. They had to change their whole game plan. And all he's going to do is get better and better and probably look even better in the NBA when there's more spacing for the shooters around him to do what they do, the ISO scorers. And another thing is, if we are going to be losing Al Horford and perhaps Aaron Baines too, all the more reason to draft TACKO Fall in the top 22. And we can also throw more money at Marcus Morris to bring him back because he's another guy who's a perfect power forward to put next to a center like this with the ISO scoring. And we wouldn't be as annoyed when Marcus Morris and Jason Tatum are taking these ISO mid-range jump shots or 3-point jump shots or long post-ups. We won't be annoyed because we won't have Kyrie in there screwing it all up. They will be getting shots in rhythm. When they get hot, they can really get hot. Okay, it's Marcus Morris's night. Okay, it's Jason Tatum's night the next night. Oh, Jaylen Brown's getting hot. Let's feed the hot hand. That kind of teamwork and trust and sacrifice. You know, with Kyrie Irving, it had to be Kyrie Irving's night all the time. It could never be somebody else's night. But we can really have an offensive, we can have more off ISO or as much as last year, but just without Kyrie Irving. And if you have a guy who's 7'7", getting rebounds or tipping the ball out to his teammates, drawing fouls on the other best player, try to get Joel Embiid in foul trouble early in the game because you just dump it into TACKO Fall, and Joel Embiid is about 6 inches shorter and he can't do anything and he's just got to foul him or he's going to get dunked all over by TACKO Fall. So there goes Joel Embiid to the bench with Celtics fans mocking him. In comes Boban. 76ers have been neutralized. Celtics win. No Kyrie, no problem. You just got to be able to picture it. TACKO Fall in the NBA is going to be just about as physically dominant and as imposing and game-changing as he was in college. And to top it all off, he's a smart guy. He's an actual legit smart guy, not just like basketball smart where a guy can put 2 sentences together like Kyrie Irving, like an actual smart human being with the ability to understand math, geometry, spacing, analytics, and incorporate it all into his game with a smart coach in Brad Stevens who can create some kind of zone defense around him where he patrols the paint and everybody else plays a spread out zone. I mean, this is basically the future of basketball. You look at Siakam, you look at Greek Freak, you look at all these guys who are just taller, longer, and you just can't stop them. Can't game plan for Giannis. And in his own very special way, this guy can be almost, He's not as good as Shaq, but he can be as good as Dikembe Mutombo, guys. And if he wins a title or two, he can even be a Hall of Famer. And everyone will say, oh, of course we knew it could happen. We just didn't think it would happen. We just didn't realize he was that athletic. We just didn't realize he was that tall. It was the same thing with Porzingis, I remember. Everyone was just totally shocked when he steps on the court against NBA competition, maybe in Summer League, and they just realized, wow, he really is that tall. Everyone thought he was 7 foot, maybe 7'1". I said he was 7'3" in shoes, and I got mocked. And he goes out and he measures out like 7'2" barefoot. What do you know? And everybody's shocked. Oh, wow, this guy really is tall. Maybe he should have got drafted over Jahlil Okafor or D'Angelo Russell. DeAndre Jordan goes out there. Oh, wow, he really is athletic and big and long ass arms. He really can jump up and dunk those balls. Rudy Gobert. Oh, wow. He really is 7'4" or whatever. Wow, his wingspan really is. And when you already have the measurements, guys, when you already have the concrete data like that, you can't really be surprised when you see something that you already know exactly how big it is, how long it is. How can you act shocked when TACKO Fall goes out there in Summer League and he's looking like basically the most dominant player on the court? How can you be shocked? You already know exactly how fucking tall he is. Zion Williamson, you already know he makes Zion Williamson look like a little bitch and that he can totally contain Zion Williamson. And other than having a Greek Freak or a James Harden, the best thing you can have is neutralizers. Guys who neutralize other teams. Guys who drag the other team into a dogfight, bar fight, take them out of their rhythm. Some guy's great at driving to the rim and scoring around the rim like Giannis. You neutralize it with a guy like this. You get inside that guy's head. And if you don't shut him down, you at least contain him and you change the game. And you change the confidence of that guy. Giannis wants to work on his post moves. Make my fucking day if we have TACKO Fall, guys. All right, anyway, that's just Taco Thursday, I'll call it. I'll see you.